Alright, what's going on, guys? It's Hands. Back again with another video. I just want to really talk about to the 2v8 mode. So obviously 2v8 is out right now. And I know a lot of people have issues with it and a lot of people think it's super great. One of the things is that they did a poll before and 85% of people or whatever posted and said they wanted to do it. So I think that's great. That a lot of like casual and even hardcore players are liking the mode. I think that's awesome. I just have some issues with it, and I'm not sure how these could be resolved, given DBD's current player base and the amount of people that are playing. Because obviously the biggest issue is killer queue. The first iteration, it was like 20 minutes. The second iteration, it seemed like it was a slightly shorter. For me anyway, it was like 10 minutes, which is obviously super long, but not terribly long, you know? So this time, it's about like 15 to 20 minutes every single time. And for normal people, I can see that sucks. Like you get home from work or something and you want to play this game and you want to play 2v8 mode. You know, it's probably going to cost you your whole night to play like 3 games. As a streamer who plays this game, it's not really good for me either because I sit in the queue and I don't really have anything to do during this queue. Some people I've seen are like playing other games while they wait in queue and stuff, and that's not obviously not good for the game. Another issue I have is after you wait in these long queues, the killer games can be super short. If you face some survivors that are really good, and they have at least like 4 of the gen people and they're all doing gens together, these games can go by in like 4 minutes. So the queue to gameplay ratio is so bad. Like you wait in these 15-20 minute queues and then you get in like a 5-minute game. And that's terrible. With this iteration and with the last iteration, there's been a lot of lag and desync kind of hits and stuff. Even when I play Survivor, I notice it. There's bugs. There's like really bad Wesker bugs in this one, and obviously a lot of people want to play Wesker because he's super popular and stuff. But there's tons of bugs that are just not in the normal game, but it's because it's 2v8. And speaking of Survivor, when you do play Survivor, you have a short queue. That's great. You get in games very quick. The blood points are obviously great. But it's pretty boring for the most part. You are mostly just sitting on gens or just getting people off hook and healing. The chases aren't that crazy. And obviously, there's funny moments where 2 killers are chasing you, which can be frustrating, but also funny, like you can pallet stun 2 killers at once and stuff like that. But most of the time, it is pretty boring, which in a normal game of DBD, it can also be pretty boring being the only one on gens, but you have a much smaller, there's only 4 people. Like, eventually the killer will most likely chase you. Whereas I've gone games in this where I'm getting shown my aura every time, because every time you do a gen, if you haven't been hooked, it shows your aura, and there's just nothing. Like, the killers just don't care. They're just going after other people, and they got too much stuff to do. They don't even care. And then you just get out. So yeah, that's some of my major issues. But to go along with normal killer queue is longer, which sucks because I don't really want to play 2v8 killer anymore. I've had my fill. I play it sometimes. I don't really want to play it. So then I'm like, okay, well, I'll just go play killer on normal queue. And even the queues for that can be 5 to 10 minutes. And it's so brutal because when you get into a game, the only people, at least in my experience, that aren't playing 2v8 Survivor seem to be either Swifts or these really good players that want to play, they like the normal game and they're really, really good at the normal game. I've gone up against some super cracked teams trying to play normal killer. And obviously, I know my MMR is probably close to the top because I play a lot of killer and I win most of my games, so I'm sure at this point my MMR is pretty high. But the people I'm going against, I'm like, I have no chance. And then there's cheaters, and you would think the cheaters would be in 2v8 mode so they can mess with more people and be more of a nuisance. No, I've gone up against more cheaters in the last couple days than I have like in all of my DBD tenure. It's insane. So I just don't like 2v8 mode. I think it's a fun little mode to have, but I am a much bigger fan of Chaos Shuffle. I think Chaos Shuffle is a lot better for the game, and the queues don't get screwed up as bad or anything like that. I know I've seen a lot of dissenting opinions on that a lot of people don't like killer challenges, or killer challenges, don't like Chaos Shuffle. So I don't know what you guys think about that, but I'm a huge fan of Chaos Shuffle as a killer main and as when I play Survivor. I think it's so fun to use new perks, and you don't have to try out random builds and be like, oh, well, the Survivors I went against or the killer I went against had all good meta perks. You just can have new perks and find new things that actually work. It's pretty cool. I've found a bunch of perks that work on killers and stuff that I wouldn't really know about if it wasn't for Chaos Shuffle. Like, I wouldn't really try. My favorite thing about 2v8 mode, because I don't think it's all bad, is doing Survivor Tome challenges. There are so many challenges that you can do in this game that work on 2v8 mode. I'm going through and doing all of these, like, repair a total of 10 generators. I did that in, like, 1 or 2 games last night. There's, like, totem ones where you got to break a whole bunch of totems. All that stuff. Because I'm trying to get all the tome challenges done. So I will say 2v8 mode is great for that. It's great for doing Survivor tome challenges. But not really for a lot else. What are your guys' opinions on this? I wonder, are you liking 2v8? Are you happy it's here? Do you like playing Ghostface? I will say Ghostface is pretty fun. Yeah, let me know down in the comments what you guys think. Thank you. Peace.